we'll see you at the end of this game when Luxury take the 2-0 loss. And Currency, it is time to bring you into the foray once again. And I want to lead in with this Graves pick. And not because it's Blazes playing the Graves, but because last week we saw with Luxury, when it was Killer Queen playing, when he picked the aggressive ganking junglers, it didn't really seem to fit Luxury's playstyle. When he picked the Graves, when he picked the farming jungler, that's when things seemed to work out for them.
Yes, but what is the question now?
There wasn't a question, to be honest.
Oh,
I
wasn't
just,
one. That's fine.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
no, my question is, do you think Blazes will be able to perform well on this Graves? Do you think it will suit the rest of the team of Luxury?
I think no to the first question, yes to the second question. I think he will not do due diligence, but I think style-wise, it definitely is a better fit than what they tried in game one. I mean, they tried it with running GAM over in the early game. That didn't work. That also didn't work against worse teams, by the way, with the main lineup. And now maybe this one is at least something that just scales a bit better. That's just something that they can really work about with Graves power farming and actually not getting flavor-wise in 17 minutes, as happened before in game one, where it happened to Shine, unfortunately. But I also think it's kind of unfair that Blaze gets to go towards the carry pick now, and Shine is just relegated to the Karma mid lane, because Blaze, he was also like kind of faulty for the early game disaster that happened in game one, and he was on his main role, while Shine was just the unfortunate jungler who happened to have this lane around him.
I love the fact that Blazes is playing jungle, but instantly the first place he looks towards is the mid lane. He says, I'm still a mid laner at heart. I'm still going to try to steal your camps away. And now Levi looking for the invade. Levi has a 1-level lead as well. Everyone's coming up. We're going to be getting a fiesta in the jungle. CBL is on the wrong side of the wall, but maybe looking to collapse onto Levi, and Kati goes in. Zenith Blade lands. Shine gets a shield. Blaze is flashing over the wall, looking for the kill onto Kati. In goes Blazes, and it's first blood to the Luxury mid laner jungler. Who knows? Either way, it was pretty darn cool.
And I immediately looked like a clown because Blazes just started off with the first blood. But what was that for the side of GAM? I mean, they just read that there was a red buff invade coming on to the side of Blazes as he was just puffing towards the mid lane. And it was basically very obvious that he was going for the red buff, though. Levi just wanted to get some revenge on him, I guess, because he was instantly replying with his own invade. And now they just all choke on towards Shine, who is still on the Karma, who, of course, with the Mantra W can buy a lot of time, and Blazes, of course, in this corridor, where the end of the line just easily can double bounce, and him just getting auto attacks off without him being touched at all, can snag up the first kill here, and GAM not really happy with that invade, I would suppose, but it's just a small gold lead for the side of Luxury, but that's maybe even already more than we expected initially, because, I mean, the game one was pretty decent stomp, and in game two, we expect nothing less.
Oh, Levi's going in once again. Blazes has a smite available. So does Levi. Levi's now going to run, but Shiny's going to be getting here to the play first. And Blazes outsmites Levi. He gets his vengeance for Shine. And now surely he picks up the solo kill. He does indeed. It's the exact opposite of game one. Vit has been ignited, throwing out the feathers, but won't be able to get the kill onto B. We're 4 minutes in, Critzy, and it's a 2-0 kill lead for Luxury.
And I think maybe Levi is just a bit too angry at him for even getting to play jungle for the first few minutes here, and just getting to have a decent presence, because yet again he just not goes for the smite fight. Blaze actually beats Levi in the smite 1v1, which is very impressive, I dare say. It wasn't quite a solo kill, as Shine was also helping out a little bit, but let's be honest, it would have been one, and Blaze is definitely making some arguments. Maybe a role swap full time would be a good choice for him, because I mean, his recent mid lane performances haven't really impressed me so much.
Oh my god, the new best jungler in the league is Blazes. I'm all down for this narrative, Critzy. We are basing this on one game. I mean, it's not even a game. We're 5 minutes in. But the fact that Blazes...
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. Blazes' performance in the jungle, his only performance in the jungle, has been even more hype than Ego's return to the jungle for Cerberus last week.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, Ego also went 4-0 in 10 minutes, and then they just kind of lost the game.
I don't know why. Ego did it with the help of the team. I feel like Blazes has done it more solo. Yes, he got help for the first blood, but the second blood was all Blazes.
That's fair, and also Ego is actually a main jungler and has been the best jungler last bit. So the expectation bar would be like 10 times higher. But yeah, to some extent, I would definitely agree. But let's go a bit more bigger picture on the game overall. Okay. I really like what the Gangplank is really doing there for the side of Kiaya. He's already winning the lane matchup, which is something we kind of expected, because the Mina is getting surprisingly much bullied by what really the parley can do, and he's already going for the Sheen. Now I really wonder if he goes for this infamous crit item build with the Essence Weave of Prowler's Claw and then into Molefelti items, like the Collector would be, or if he just goes for the standard old build, which would be the Triforce into maybe even going 3 crit claws and then the Infinity Edge, which is also a very, very funny build.
I think Blazes just went to the mid lane and took a couple of creeps away, or a few minions away from Shine. He says, hey, look, I'm Graves, I'm 2-0, it's my first time in the jungle, I'm going to be taxing your lane, this is kind of cool, I like this jungle role. However, Blazes now, actually I was thinking for a second, Blazes was Levi looking for a dive onto Fit and CBL, but it's just Blazes taking his Krugs. Meanwhile, Cody might have to be a little bit careful. Kiaya might have to be a bit careful as well once that Rage Bar starts stacking up for this now.
I wonder if that barrel hits if Kiaya just dies, because he just gets a turret aggro and he's pretty low on his own, and I don't think that Cody would instantly just die from it. So yeah, both need to be very careful in that regard. Speaking of GAM, they're kind of crying right now. I mean, I see 3 tiers in their inventory. Maybe like also scaling is a bit a better approach, especially if you play with Kaiser. Maybe Levi with his first good gank. The
cannon barrage.
Dies.
Coated jumps. He's not able to get the slow. He's not able to jump on the minion and get the double bounce. And now Shine making his way up. Blazes here as well. Can Luxury end up turning this into a 2-for-1? The Soul Flare will get the slow on to Levi. Focus Resolve gets the lockdown. Levi on the run, but Levi is blinded. Levi with nowhere to go. And it's Blazes who picks up another kill for Luxury.
Blazes has slain Levi. Maybe that's the story of the game to some extent, because Blazes is 3-0. He has all kills on the side of Luxury, basically, and he just now gets to kill Levi again. Levi kind of being the sacrificial lamb for the side of Kiaya, also to some extent maybe beautiful, because he was just being like the dog jungler in this game so far, and he just now keeps being it, while Blazes is having maybe the fun of his life. He probably didn't expect it either to really have this dominant of an early game. I also like how he's basically playing mid lane and jungle at the same time, with him taxing like some of the creeps that, or minions as you say, that Shine was then being in a position to be picked up. And Kiaya, I don't think you can escape it yet. Blazes again!
It was a clean flash from Kiaya, but it was even cleaner from Blazes. 4-0. He's literally doing the Levi of game 1.
Yeah, and few minutes ago I said Ego was impressive because he went 4-0 in 10 minutes. I mean, where's Blazes right now?
Yeah.
He's doing the same thing. Out of field junglers, by the way. You shouldn't dodge them always when they're in your lobby. Maybe. At least Luxury didn't have to do it this game.
We talk about Lee Sin being the quintessential jungler of the VCS. Maybe it was Graves all along. Fit? Okay.
That was close. I mean, at least he didn't flash and just only burned the heal because he was calculating the build time damage rightfully. But this is just maybe a small taste of what Misfortune can really bring to the table. This is just one serrated Dirk in the inventory. It will get worse if she builds up the more mana and more lethality items. And yeah, good luck against that. Vid, of course, will then have the Feather Storm to really balance it out a little bit more. And he probably won't have to just freely build time into them with CBL having his ultimate up. But this just now looked very scary.
I would like to see a replay of that, because I don't get why CBL just didn't Zenith Blade and Shield of Daybreak to cancel the Misfortune bullet time. But maybe it was on cooldown, so I'm not sure, but I would
hopefully, because otherwise CBL is just not really playing the game. So here we see Levi. At least this time he gets the better of someone, but it's Shine who doesn't have a smite, so not that hard of a job for a veteran jungler, I suppose.
No, I mean, Blazes has a 10 CS lead over Levi. Okay, it's not quite approaching the flame horizon that we saw in the last game, but it's still mightily impressive from Blazes. And okay, also Blazes has been taxing his mid laner a bit, which is probably why he's got a 20 CS lead now.
I mean, they're basically playing a soft version of the funnel, right? With Karma just stopping CS and them just picking it onto the carry. But this actually makes sense. I mean, the Karma doesn't need that much gold. She basically just needs, I think, the Hextech anti-heal item. Yeah, and the Moonstone. And that's basically it. No style baiting,
Onslaught of Shadows comes in, but can go to get the kill. He gets Mega Gnar, but he will miss the boulder toss. Now he's got to run. Drops down the Gnar ultimate onto Levi. Blazes and Shine are coming down. Will GAM funnel onto Coated? They will not. Levi aware of the punishment that may have been coming his way.
Very smart to back off there, because you really take forever to even kill the Mega Gnar if you even get to do it. But Blazes is maybe in a position to stop the recalls at least with a smoke screen.
Blazes, you are evil and I love it. Collateral damage style is incredibly low. Bullet time will reduce the wave to cinders, but there's another wave coming in. Style, you're in a very tricky spot right now. Can a barrage drop down? And Blazers will get one. He's got to look for another, and it's Coated who will pick up the kill. Blaze picks up another tower shot, but he will not fall. 5-0 and 1 on the Graves.
I mean, I don't want to overwork based on 11 minutes of gameplay, but I think Blaze is just now the best jungler the VCS ever had. Really clean dive coming out, stopping the back, then chucking him out with the collateral damage, and just now waiting for the next wave. It just juggling the third aggro perfectly, also something they really did a good job now. And Luxury still in the winning position against GAM. I mean, of course, the scaling eventually will kick in for the side of GAM, I would assume, with them having 3 tier tables and a gangplank on their side. But right now, GAM kind of struggling against this mid-game prowess that really comes out for the side of Luxury. Maybe now a window for the side of B. Quickness would be available, but he chooses not to go for it.
It is still a 5-0 Graves. You do need to be very careful of Blazes. I almost want to see when Blazes returns to the mid lane, picking up the Graves. But Vit is being engaged on. He's got nowhere to go. It's an easy kill for Levi, and Levi thinking, finally, I can get some ganks happening. I think that might actually be Levi's first kill of the game.
I think it might be, and I wonder why Vit didn't just try to run towards his turret. He was really not in a position to go out there, and it is actually the second kill for the side of Levi. I think he got one onto Coated with the turret dive in the cannon barrage they had earlier. That's where you got the first kill. Either way, that's the second one, and he's going for that chem tank plus more mana item build, I would guess, or maybe just sit on the tier and not really finish the more mana, as he's just now on a very good amount of mana, still doing some decent base damages, and will do a lot in the later team fights. But B, you might be caught there.
Oh, Solar Flare slightly mispositioned. CBL flashing forward, B flashing out of the collateral damage, and it's a flash for flash trade. Both supports incredibly low, but Luxury now have control of the river. Luxury can look for the Drake, and Luxury and Blazes can look towards the bottom lane. Now flashing forward, Blazes looking for this, going under tower as well, the double daggers, and it is Vit who picks up the kill.
And Blaze is also a generous god, but he also just now donates his kill to his AD because he knows that he wants some part of the cake as well. Also this time it's not a little felt desire as it is a crit desire, so that will scale even better. Speaking of that, Coded just now, he just gets parley to the face. What a sad existence is this game, and maybe one of the detrimentals, while that may be a cause why Luxury will maybe not win this game, because the Na really not doing anything against the Gangplank. They of course had to blind pick the top lane, which is not making it easy for them. The Gangplank really starting to get strong here, and it is actually the Triforce item build coming out from him. So it's not the fun build right now, which is the lethality one, where you can just one-shot people and then just be invisible or get out if you happen to go Dust Blade, or just Prowler's Claw onto people and just be in melee range to just proc the passive again. But it is a more traditional Gangplank approach, but that seems to be fine. Luxury, however, really wants style.
Are they overextending? Solar Flare drop down, end of the line, and again, Blazes is generous. He gives a kill over to Vit, who is now 2-1. It's top side versus bottom side, and Levi and Carti want to make their way down. This is a 3v2. The Cannon Barrage will chip away at health bars as Void Seeker lands. Blazes is surely dead, and he will fall. Luxury will fall, but out comes the Featherstorm. Somehow, Carti will survive. CBL needs to be able to sidestep the oncoming Void Seeker. When will Carti have it off cooldown? When will he fire it? He fires it. CBL now on the run. The quickness dropped by B. And was there an Ignite as well? Yes, he used the ult and Ignite to ensure that he got the kill.
And I wonder why, because the ultimate still has the base damage. I mean, you play Rakan, you could very much correct me on that if it's wrong, but I think it would have been enough without the Ignite. You will see again what happened there. Blaze is giving the shutout over to Carti on the mid lane Kai'Sa. Very, very scary prospect. I like what Blaze did there initially, giving another kill over towards Vit when they were diving Shine for the third time. Shine now, Style actually. So, well, AD carry. I'm getting those confused again. Style being 0-3 now, and Vit under the scaling Kai'Sa, scaling Zion in that regard. Also, just now being in a very good bot lane position, and Blazes trying to translate his lead over to his lanes, as he cannot really do that much with Shine on the Karma mid lane and Coded on the Na in the top lane. But it was very detrimental that he gave over the shutdown towards Carti on the Kai'Sa, as that's also a scaling monster on their own. And GAM now, yet again with a gold lead, despite doing so much fiestaing in the early game, they are now 1k up against the side of Luxury, and they only secured one Drake for themselves. Maybe just to get the second Herald, which of course will grant them a bit more map control, but not that much gold in their pockets. And with the lead being on the Graves, I wonder if it's enough for the side of Luxury, and I heavily doubt that. completely
Solar
honest.
Flare dropped down onto Carti, but Coated isn't here. It's a numbers advantage for GAM, and it's Kiaya who will pick up the first kill of the fight onto CBL. It was a great laning phase, a great start to this game for Luxury, but GAM pulling it back, almost reminiscent of that Cerberus SBTC game from last
He's caught.
weekend. Focus results onto Carti, so much damage, and that's the kill. Vit goes in with the Gale Force, and he makes it 2 for the side of Luxury.
And Kati really donating some money and some control for the Luxury, because it was actually a last play for them already with the Herald fight not going into the favor, CBL being caught off very early on. And now that Herald that was actually basically just in GAM's pockets now goes over to the side of Luxury. Also 2 kills yet again. I think one of them went to Vit and another one went to, I think it was Koted's first kill this time. Either way, that was not really what Kati planned to do, with him not getting out of the Karma chain, not using Killer Instinct to any way. Maybe there also was no way for him to really get out. But that's something that really shouldn't happen too often, because he is the main damage threat right now for the side of GAM. You see again, he just gets snared up. And of course, Graves deals just too much damage to him. With him being down, Style being 0-3, and the Gangplank not really being the consistent damage threat yet, I mean, that cannot just happen a lot more times, because the mid-game fight
GAM thought this was a 3v2, but it's a 3v3 because Shine was waiting. They're going to get a kill. A 3-man Solar Flare drop down. Shine still looking to do damage. And Coated has already fallen. CBL now on the run. GAM get the fight. This is a triple kill for Carti as the Void Seeker lands. And now they look to CBL as well. Give him the quadra kill. There's not even a tower for CBL to run underneath. And it is Carti's triple kill, 5-2 on the Kaiser.
Quadra kill, as you just not said. And this is what happens when Carti doesn't just sprint the team fights. I mean, this is when Kaiser really gets to hit. You will see Luxury greeting a little bit for the tier 1 turret, and of course with the Unstoppable Onslaught coming in, or the Onslaught of Shadows more to say. And Carti just not getting to hit. The Na as a mini Na can't really team fight that well, doesn't get Mega Na off, so there's no really CC ultimate that really can buy some time, buy some space for them, and GAM can just run them out one by one, and even the Karma is not really doing them any favors with the movement speed buffs. Especially if she dies early, there's not really much to do. And Blazes started 6-1, 6-0 in the Graves, basically. Now failing a bit to translate those leads, but can we really blame him? I think we cannot. It's more or less just his laners really struggling to do the diligence of what they really need to do in this game.
Now, I know this point is a little bit outdated, but I wanted to bring it up because otherwise I feel like I'm casting an unfair light onto B. Remember when you asked about CBL, remember when you asked about B's dropping the Ignite onto CBL in that Rakan Leona play? The reason he did that is because Leona, when she Qs, she gains range on her auto attack, so she can actually stun B before the ult touches her, so CBL wouldn't have taken any damage.
Ah, very clever. Either way, Ocean Drake taken. Shine, oh, barrel hits.
Yeah, barrel hits, and Shine will fall. And it is a kill going the way of Carti. Luxury now on the back foot. They're able to get the second Drake of the game, but we're nearly 19 minutes in, so it's rather late for that second Drake. And now GAM will look to push in the mid lane. Nearly a 4k goalie. Blaze is trying to drop some damage onto Levi, but not nearly enough, especially in that 1v2. And Carti incredibly strong as well right now.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, at least Kota tried to go for the top lane tier 2 to it, but was answered by the TP from the side of Kiaya. Maybe now a flank is coming up from Luxury to really get some reward here. Coated is mega, but is he in time?
Oh, well, the boulder toss will not land onto Carti. The teleport will be wasted. Out comes the bullet time. Featherstorm will stop a lot of the damage, but now Levi looking for the engage. Bladecaller will get the CC, and it's a shutdown for Blazes on the side of the fight, who picks up the kill onto Carti. And again, Luxury are always able to pick up a kill here or there. Again, we talked about this mid-game being a little bit unsuccessful for them, and maybe that is somewhat due to the fact that Blaze is role-swapping into this jungle role.
Maybe it isn't, yeah, they're definitely fighting back in this game. I mean, they're literally even in kills. Also, Blaze is still on 100% kill participation on this Graves, and also getting another shutdown will maybe prevent him from falling off too soon. He's just now, I think, going for Cyrilla's Quatch, which he just now completed, so he's still very, very strong. And Carti really shouldn't be your sacrificial lamb, as he is your main damage carry right now, and also carrying a huge shutdown on his own. So him maybe not flashing there was detrimental. The boulder toss won't steal the ground, and Coated gets out. And yeah, we see the fight again. It will be split into two sides, because on the other side we had B and the bot lane fighting over. Carti, yeah, you can flash anywhere there. Maybe you can try to turn onto Blazes, but he will just probably shotgun you into the face. So wise of him not to flash there, but him getting caught out there, very unfortunate, of course. And the TP play from Luxury is yet again successful. And I want to see more from them now, though, because they are now on the 2 Drake power spike, and they really should try to go for the soul at some point, because I think just scaling next to GAM is not going to work if you go against 3 tier champions in the Gangplank.
Well, 11 kills to 11, but a 3k goal leader for the side of GAM, and GAM now looking to siege into this mid lane. It's a final outer tower of the game for both sides that is standing. Avoid Seeker, the powder kegs, none of it landing onto the members of Luxury as they're just looking to eat away at this wave that comes their way. And now Cody looking to go in. He's got the Mega Gnar coming. He lands an roll, but it's only on to B. Onslaught of his shadows, and Blazes has already fallen. It's a huge quickness from B, who just stuns up 3 members, or charms up 3 members under tower, and GAM pick up 2 kills for 1, and now they turn their attention towards the Baron.
Yeah, they definitely can. I mean, with Blazes being down, the smite is gone, not also the smite, but also Blazes as a jungler being the main carry of the team, which is a rare sight in recent metas and patches, is definitely something they can go for. Also, CBL dying with this flash up, not being in a good position. B loves to sacrifice himself for plays like this, because the Baron should basically be free now. Vito has something against it, but look how much damage he already takes before Featherstorm.
Yeah, and well, that's just Carti picking up a kill on to Shine. Now, things are going pretty well for GAM, and I talked about maybe it's just Luxury for communication being a little bit off with the role swaps, but let's not forget, this is GAM. GAM are phenomenal. Their team fighting is absolutely immaculate, and here is that team fight in the mid lane.
Yeah, here we see again how they really played out. B going over for great quickness, and also I remember Style finding a very good bullet time angle to really do a lot of damage in these skirmishes. Beryl, of course, hitting on CBL, and Coded's Mega Gnar ultimate, very underwhelming, doesn't hit anyone into the wall, and Levi's Onslaught of Shadows really coordinating well to create a distraction for the bullet time to really land. Also, I think Kati landed a decent Void Seeker there to get some good poke damage in, and with that, teamfight was won for the side of GAM. Tier 1 turret still standing, however, but with the Baron buff, I think that is something that is basically inevitable to fall in the next few minutes.
Well, GAM continue to extend their lead. That mid lane outer tower will finally fall. And Starl actually has a shutdown despite not having a single kill. He's picked up a lot of assists as of late. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage from the Void Seeker onto Shine. And Levi was having a think about charging in, but in the end had to decide against it.
Definitely. So the poke just letting another Void Seeker. I mean, I remember Clockwork saying on Death something about Kai'Sa being the worst Corki in the mid lane, and I disagree.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Kati also disagrees apparently. That's just more range, more damage, and you don't really need to reload rockets anymore. But no. Where does Luxury
going in
stand
very aggressively. Solar Flare not really landing onto anyone either. Do Luxury want to continue to aggress? They're stepping forward, but GAM stepping away. Void Seeker well sidestepped by the quick draw from Blazes.
And Coded now in a solo split push mission. He doesn't have the Hullbreaker, so it takes quite a while to take down these turrets. I don't think he can do it on this wave yet. And this might just be Luxury dropping their first wake. Maybe they have to just now against all the pressure that's coming out from GAM. Also, it's really hard to face check into a mid lane Kai'Sa that just keeps half-shotting you with these Void Seekers alone when they are coming from the Fog of War. And Levi can just solo out the Mountain Break, which now steps the bleeding to some extent. So there's no soul win condition for Luxury yet. But Vid is having great games recently. Even in yeah.
Well, Levi will be able to get the kill. Not really much that Vic could do in that situation, considering he had already blown his heal in the fight with Style, or he blew his heal trying to survive from Levi, but was unsuccessful. Either way, it's a 1-for-1 overall. Blazes is chasing Levi all the way into the top lane. He needs to be careful. There is a gangplank. Will go and take so much damage instantly, but Cody shows up, and Kiaya. Oh, the Collector coming in pretty clean as well. In the end, it's a 1-for-1 now. Coated looking for Levi. He's got the Gnar Rage Bar stacked up. Carti's got to die under the tower. Shine is still alive. Meanwhile, the Hecarim and Levi still duking it out. They're battling for the honey fruit. And Levi will get enough and will horsey his way out to safety.
And that was short of disaster for the side of GAM. I want to remind you guys that Gangplank is about to get buffed on the patch. So, and that was Gangplank without the buffs. And he was still able to just kill this Fat Graves within this 1v2 skirmish. And not a good look for the side of GAM overall, though, as they also overdove on the bot lane with Kati giving away another shutdown. And them being a little bit overzealous as they, without this hero play from Kiaya and Gangplank being Gangplank on the current patch and being a little bit broken maybe, it would have been lost on both sides for the side of GAM. And in their position, this really shouldn't happen, as they are quite firmly ahead now. They just need to be a bit more patient, I guess, with their poke really landing for the side of the Void Seeker from Kati's Kaiser and the Make It Rain from the side of Style. But they were a little bit impatient, tried to force it a little bit too hard on the bottom inhibitor, and with that, some gold back into the pockets of Luxury. But as CBL picked up the kill, it's not the end of the world at all for the side of GAM.
Well, Luxury now pushing in the mid lane. We've got a Drake in
Hello.
3 minutes. My god, Vit takes so much damage. There's another Void Seeker. It doesn't land onto CBL. What is the cooldown for that as we get the engage? And Style is already falling. Surely Style will die, and Shine will pick up his first kill of the game. Levi on the flank. Teleport from Kiaya in as well. But they just focus on Takati. They get the kill, and Levi and Kiaya will have no flank. Luxury pushing the mid lane. Luxury get the inner tower. And now Luxury look for the inhibitor tower.
RR and B is low. I thought they could maybe push for more. Kiaya also on the flank. Very interesting decision to go for the TP there. Can just use the cannon barrage to clear the wave, so it's not really anything detrimental for side of GAM. But they are really doing a little bit of trolling here and just now lost both carries in this fight. And without them, they can definitely not fight it. Limit testing it. I mean, I don't give them that excuse too much, because this is one of the worst teams of the VCS, and them also like role swapping in between series and even before game 1, and they really should look better in games like this. But I mean, if it's just this one day, it's probably fine for them. I mean, they are locked first place. They can experiment and should.
Oh,
definitely
Coty's
do
got
that.
the Mega Gnar coming up, and now he's looking to go in. In comes CBL as well. Shine here, so is Blazes. Void Seeker tanked up by CBL, and down goes Kiaya. Solar Flare locked up, but B coming in with a quickness. Going to find a fair bit of damage, but Levi has already fallen. And Luxury are taking the fight. It's a double kill on Takati. They look for B, jumping over the wall, but Blazes will run him down. And it's a triple kill for the auto-fill jungler.
And I wonder how much they can really push it, because they are playing the top lane. This was also really cracked on by Coated earlier on. It's 4 members down for the side of Garment. Do they really have the wave clear? I mean, Style will have the build and will likely also use it and maybe clear away the minions, but this is at least an inhibitor for the side of Luxury. And I think they can go for more here. They can maybe try to really rush down and finish the game.
This may very well be game Quincy. I can't believe I'm saying that. After game 1, the teleport will keep 1 minion alive, and there are more minions crashing in. Dreams can happen. Luxury roll swapping Blazes into the jungle. They turn their attention to the Nexus. It's Coated and Blazes. Can they get enough damage down? They can't. Blazes is the only one left standing. Blazes is on the run, and maybe Luxury have just thrown this game away.
Maybe they did. It was looking very, very close. Like, given that defense, and I also was making the call, they maybe have to try it at this point, because otherwise they really wouldn't get it. But they have been winning the last recent fight, and I think there was maybe a way in to get this. And I think Shine TP'd onto the Kelmin to keep it alive, but died himself while channeling. That was maybe what really was bringing it down a little bit to them. You give him the Kelmin, and it's still not something that really works out for you. It's still not easy enough, apparently. I wonder if you could just
how many wards there are at that Nexus?
Many. Just to prevent them, just to make some misclicks happen and them right-clicking it. Yeah, it's definitely very smart because out of GAM. Also now Baron being taken by GAM and Mountain Blade coming out in a few seconds will also likely be their prize. But with GAM resetting now, maybe actually not, as Luxury might have a window to rush it down, but they choose to go against it, so it will be GAM's Mountain Blade coming up. But of course, Luxury really wants to fight it. TP coming out for Coated.
One ward wasn't spotted in the base, and it's been pinged, but Coated now having teleported into the river won't be able to make his way to the base, as that ward has been cleared away anyway. Luxury are going to be able to get this Drake. Luxury are onto Soul Point. Quincy, this game is really, really close. Sure, there's a 5k goal lead, but it doesn't feel like there's a 5k goal lead in these team fights.
It definitely doesn't. GAM's comp is also not that easy to play in this moment, because you really are lacking the utility. If your carries can't get to free hit, it's very much hard to play in the 5v5. I mean, here we see again what happened in the base rush from the side of Luxury, and yeah, they just fell down very, very quickly. Code on the Mega Gnar, maybe he wants to actually be mini in this moment, because he can just quickly dish out some auto attacks and just use the Spellblade a bit more. It's a bit more clunky on the Mega. Despite surviving there a little bit longer, it will probably be not something that is really deciding the game here. But Luxury were a little bit overzealous on that base push, and yeah, GAM, speaking of them, the fights are not as easy to play for them, because they really have not much utility. They basically just need a good engage from B, and then having decent follow-up by the side of the bullet time. And this mid lane Kai'Sa pick, it's not like a traditional AD carry, right? It has some decent DPS, but it really needs some time to ramp up and needs to let some Void Seekers before the fight really even starts. In a straight up 5v5, it's not that strong, especially if it gets engaged on by someone like Blazes, who's enchanted by the Karma, or maybe even Vid on the crit Zaya, who also scaled fantastically into this game and is now one item away from full build and will definitely hit like a truck. And yeah, Lakshmi definitely has something to play for in these 5v5 fights. And despite all the scaling inside of GAM, it's not a free win for them at all.
I just want to quickly bring something up, which is the fact that Luxury don't actually really have any AP damage. Sure, you've got Shine, but Shine is building Enchanter Karma rather than Magic damage Karma, so there is a little bit lacking there, and Levi building full tank is going to make things a bit trickier, I feel, for the likes of Vit and Blazes.
Does so, but on another note, you have also the Menina just going for the hyper damage. It's percent HP magic damage, and Blazes can just kite around him, so maybe that's something that doesn't really play a part here. And Levi is still not that tanky, right? He's on the chem tank plus Deadman's Blade. The other items are not really doing him any favor against all this physical damage coming in. But of course, if it goes super late game, I think it can play a part to really make it hard for the side of Luxury to deal any damage to him. But other than that, you don't focus Levi anyway. He cannot one-shot your whole team with this more mana Hecarim build. He can 1v1 basically anyone. Karti now having to use his flash. And GAM is struggling to find the angles.
Yeah, they're forced to back away. Luxury now looking for the inner tower. Blazes and Coated just dropping down some damage onto Levi as CBL, Shine and Vit will secure this inner tower. Luxury continue to press forward. Sure, GAM were able to get the Baron buff, but it is still Luxury in control of this game. Quincy, right now, surely you've got to be thinking that this is Luxury's game to lose.
I actually don't. I think it should still be GAM's game to lose.
Okay.
You just need to land one good Void Seeker before a fight, and you can fire them off every 5 seconds. I think one event inevitably has to hit on like either Vit or Shine, and then Luxury basically has to back off. This hasn't happened in the recent fights, and Luxury, of course, with the inhibitor down on the side of GAM, also got some map control basically for free, or what they really work for in winning the team fight before the Baron earlier, and them having the failed base raise attempt. Other than that, I think it should still be GAM's game to lose, despite the soul point being on the side of Luxury, GAM being a few K gold ahead, but Luxury definitely playing these fights decently in the recent minutes. And Karti, yeah, he didn't have the last 10 minutes of his life, I would say. There definitely have been better times for him.
Vit's been playing so well this game. Blazes has been playing fantastically. Shine's just had a job, which is just to not lose lane and just be a supportive Karma, and has done that fantastically. Coated has made a few misplays. We've seen some bad Gnar ultimates so far, but overall Luxury have been playing it relatively well. We've got a Drake up in 1 minute time, and that could be soul point for Luxury. And if you've got a Mountain Soul against some of those Void Seekers, that would be pretty big. B now looking to go in. Solar Flare drop down. Now there's a teleport as Luxury might be looking to turn this around. Collateral damage taking Karti down to half health. CBL on the run. Kiaya trying to chase down. There will be no more aggression from either side, but that Void Seeker onto Vit. Holy Coronas!
Another one. Yeah. Vit definitely still hurts from those Void Seekers. I mean, the last ones on Shine and Coated weren't really overwhelming in any regard, and maybe now, with the poke being in, GAM goes for the fight.
They do go for the fight, and in is a Coated. He can drop down a Gnar ultimate, but who can he find? Absolutely no one. Blazes has already fallen. Now a 5v4. Void Seeker won't land on Coated. That could have been a kill for Karti if it had landed. And now GAM going to siege on to the Inhibitor Tower. The Inhibitor Tower will fall in a 5v4. Surely GAM can't take the game here.
They surely can't take the game here. I mean, the wave is very, very thin. Also, Vit can very easily clear it. Also, what I liked from Vit was very much that he cleared the barrels pretty decently in the last skirmish. So otherwise, it would definitely be Kiaya just absolutely bonking all over them. And now this Mountain Break goes for the side of GAM. Some more tankiness in their pockets. And also preventing the Mountain Soul for the side of Luxury, which is the important part, because that Mountain Soul would definitely ruin the fun for Karti and Style, who are on those poke jabits that definitely would struggle against such huge resistances, and also the huge shield coming out from the soul.
We're going to get a replay. Baron is up, so as we come out of this replay, we may have a fight. But this is just Blazes and Coated stepping way too far forward.
Yeah, Blaze stepping way too far forward, and it's mostly just Levi with the engage, and then the Gangplank really getting to free it in this fight. And with Blaze being down, the DPS also lacking outside of Luxury, and Luxury then struggling to really find an angle in this fight. Of course, Vid still does decent damage, but he doesn't really have the frontline if coated is mini now, so it's somewhat situational really when he can go for these fights. And now GAM with the free Baron, Inhibitor down in the mid lane, they basically just regained full control of the game.
That being said, we're 35 minutes in. Practically everyone is now at full build or one item away. The exception may be B and CBL in the support role because they don't get that same gold income. GAM now looking to push in the top lane, looking to take the final inner tower. CBL taking so much damage. Killer Instinct is available for Karti. Void Seeker will not land. And it's as you mentioned, Quincy, if Karti just lands that Void Seeker, all of a sudden, the way the fight goes completely changes.
Yeah, and I need to be corrected on that one. Actually, that's about a 10-second cooldown, but 3 seconds if it hits. So thanks to Rebel on that one to really correct me there. So basically, just what makes it terrible, right? If you hit one, you can fire another one 3 seconds later. If both hit the carry is just dead, and really, Kai'Sa not really being in a position to really be risking her own life, because she can just fire them away from 2 screens away, and there's not really any counterplay for side of the AD carry, except just sidestepping every single Void Seeker. And if you have to check into a Fog of War or something, that is very much not easy to do. And Vid, he has a great game this time. He had a great game earlier. Really being questioned there if you can manage to do it consistently, because you really don't want to use Gale Force or Flash or Heal to just dodge those Void Seekers, because you really need them for bigger abilities in the game, if I may say so. Because the CC is really what you need to use them for. And GAM now with Baron up, also just not easily can threaten this bot lane here. 2 inhibs down instead of Luxury, and Luxury at some point needs to go for the last stand, I would say, because you can't just let yourself get slowly pushed and sieged in here.
They have to make a fight. When do they do it? Coated has no stacks on that Rage, but it's slowly picking up now. This could be the final fight. Blaze is taking so much damage from that one Void Seeker. GAM continue to push. They have that Baron buff. They're looking for this final inhibitor tower, and then the access to those Nexus towers is, well, limitless.
Yeah, it's indeed limitless now. Coated going for the Mega now Rage bar. That's something we need to keep track of, because while actually has to take a fight, without Mega they cannot really take a fight, because Minina is really not something you want in those. And yeah, just now, Karti has some free time. He won't get pressured by the side of Luxury and can just easily just spam his W button and just fish for those Void Seekers. And yeah, if they land, they land. Definitely nice damage coming out. And now Coated is Minina again. An easier target for Void Seekers, and also not a good team fighter.
Still throwing out the double daggers, trying to pull them in. Luxury just waiting for that perfect opportunity to go in. If they win a fight, if either team wins this fight, it could be the final fight of the game. It most likely will be the final fight of the game. There are minions crashing in for GAM in the top lane. Super minions onto the Nexus towers. But again, Luxury forced to back away. Karti keeps throwing out Void Seekers, and Luxury are forced to continue to back. A Redemption drop down. Coated is out of this one. Surely the bottom lane inhibitor will fall. Ki looking for damage with the powder kicks, but unable to find it. Coated now looking for this play. This is it. This is the final fight. But CBL has already fallen. Out comes the bullet time. Coated on practically no health, and Vid is out of this. Gets a tag. Killer Instinct comes through, but not enough to be able to pick up the kill. One Nexus tower stands for the side of Luxury. They're looking for the play. Blaze is looking for B. Unable to find it. 5 members still as strong from the side of GAM, and the Guardian's Angel has been procced for Vid. He will fall. Grand entrance. GAM get the kill, and GAM can look for the base. 3 members left for Luxury. Make it 2. Another Void Seeker lands, and GAM go in. Style will get the kill onto Vid, and Coated is the only member who is left standing. GAM will get the 2-0. It was shaky, but they pick it up nonetheless.
And this is the difference between a team like GAM and a team like Cerberus, like in Buffalo or Team Secret. Even if they have a little bit of trolling in the mid game, they still, at the end of the day, still win.